It's crazy, man. Like you and I have, I don't know, we're supposed to talk at least a couple of times over the years where, I meet you at a festival or something and it just doesn't work out. And then last week with you being in Brazil and your connection being shitty or whatever the hell happened, I'm like, this dude doesn't want to talk to me. I must smell better. I don't think come on, man. So it's good to have you on, dude. I appreciate your time today. And I brought props, man. I brought props. I got, how's that look?
Nice. Yeah, sweet.
So dude, is this the flow for you guys moving forward? Bring Me the Horizon. You guys just gonna do kind of the, I don't know, EP, I guess, but is that what you're thinking from now on? Just like Prince said that too. It's like, you know what? I feel singles is where it's at, So instead of dropping full albums.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I guess with the pandemic and everything that happened and writing remotely, it's like we knew we weren't going to go on tour for a while. So it just felt like the perfect time to experiment with this idea, I've been saying kind of the shit like I want to stop doing albums, I want to do something different and all this stuff for ages. And it's like I just like finally time to put your money where your mouth is and just do it, The idea, is just for us to be as creative as possible. Like we've got these 4 records now, like obviously Post-Human, Survival Horror being the first one, where each record is going to be, it can be so different that like whatever we feel like doing, we can do it, and there's going to be a record for everyone. So like, if we feel like doing something like dancey electronic, we've got this record for it. If we feel like doing something kind of old school rock, we got this one for it. If we feel like doing something maybe more emo, more pop, we're yet to discover what each record sounds like, but it just means like we've done so much shit over like our career that it's like there's not really a, we have our sounds, but like we can go anywhere with it. You know what I mean? So like
I do.
Just felt like the right time to do something like that to give us the most creative opportunity, rather than just going like, let's write another whole album and take a year. It's like we can just record, write, drop songs whenever we feel like, keep it creative, keep it exciting, And the thing is, we have types of fans as well. There's Bring Me the Horizon fans that love Ammo. There's Bring Me the Horizon fans that just love our first record. There's Bring Me the Horizon fans that, I mean, it's not like we're going to write records that sound like any of those, but I appreciate that, like, some people just want to listen to fucking aggressive music. Some people want to listen to more emotional music and stuff. And it's like, and we're the same. So it's like, rather than trying to cram all that into one record, we're like treating it like, let's make a record with, I feel like Survival Horror had a vibe. Do you know what I mean? The whole record had a very dense vibe. So it's like each record is going to be more like that. So the second record will be whatever the vibe we land on. It's going to be in that realm. The people we work with, the guests that we have on there, they're probably going to come more from that world. So it's kind of exciting for us. It gives us like full creative, freedom.
Yeah. I've been saying for a while now, since we've been playing Teardrops on the radio, that it's my favorite tune. It's so good, dude. So good. It really encompasses a lot of what you guys have been doing for a while now. It's got the aggressive vibe to it. And just the flow. And I love the music video, which I hear you directed the video.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a passion of yours too? Like in the future, that might be something you really just focus on, is doing that different kind of arts instead of music, or always going to have, go back and forth?
Maybe. I do love it. It was what I wanted to do before I was in a band. I wanted to be a film director. So I'm getting to kind of live my second passion for the band. I did all the videos for the record. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just it is something I really enjoy.
Well, you talk about with that song Teardrops that feeling bad for the kids these days. They're traumatized for breakfast. They wake up every day. It's something else washing over them. Can you talk about that a little bit? What you were thinking when you said something like that?
I mean, I kind of just put into it's something that I go through, and I'm like I'm 34 now, but like it's I feel the power that things like social media and just phones and technology in general, like, I see how, even as someone in my position that, I'm so grateful and so lucky, and I've done well in life. I've got money, I've got security, I'm in a successful band, that stuff. I can still go on something like Instagram and start to feel insecure and start to feel like I want what they've got. Look at me, I'm ugly. Like all this shit that comes in your head, and that's just like, maybe not something that really affects me, but like it affects me enough to realize how much it must affect a young person. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's just been born into this, not even like, I've kind of watched it develop and I'm like more aware of it and stuff. Whereas if you're just a kid, it's just what you do. And it's just like, and because everyone does it, like no one talks about tech addiction. You know what I mean? It sounds lame because everyone's like, shut up, it's not a problem. Stuff. Right. It's like, but it's like that we don't realize the damage it's doing to us all. Like damage it does to our relationships, the damage it does to our self-esteem, our ego, all this stuff. It's just like, where those apps and those things are being created. Like, even the people who develop them, I saw an interview with one of the people who develops it, and he goes, it's so addictive that even though I know it's addictive, I go home at night and I sit on it. Do you know what I mean? Because, that like-based reward system, hearts, all that shit, we love it. We live for it. That's why we sit on it and like, we just want likes. Like it's just like instant hit of like gratification. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
So, and your world revolves around it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you sometimes can lose a bit of touch. Like, people getting people's whole careers, people's lives can be cancelled on that by other people who don't even know you, don't even know what you're going through. So much, for everything good that happens on it, it's just so much shit that it's like, wow, if someone, started trying to make my life hell or tried trashing me, like that's my whole life over. And it's like, no, it's not. It's just that's not your life. You know what I mean? You step outside of that bubble and no one knows who you are. No one, do you know what I mean? So it's like people, kids today are like, it is a fucked up thing. You know what I mean? And it's cool. And man, how would we have got through lockdown without that kind of entertainment and shit like that? But at the same time, it's just like, I guess it's just an aspect of modern day life that, we don't really address as much as maybe we should.
And thinking back to like the music video and watching it, there's a lot going on in the video. Watching you when you fall back into the water and you're screaming under the water, I was seriously thinking like, how much water went up this dude's nose? How much did he swallow being under the water like that? What was that like, dude? Talk about that experience a little bit.
The whole thing was mad because obviously when I come up with the ideas, I'm just like, right, I want to express depression through being underwater and screaming, and I want to do this and I want to do that. So I write it all down, and then it all starts to happen. It's like, all right, you need to go to this doctor's now, and you need to do like a Navy SEALs medical check to see if you can breathe underwater. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, what? And then I'm like in this place, like fucking doing like jumping up on this box and doing all this shit, and like, and it was like, yep, you passed. You're like, it was like, and then I'm like, it was like, if you didn't do that, you wouldn't be able to make this video, do you know? And I'm like, sure. Oh my God, this is like, so then you get there the next day and I'm like, it all became very real that I'm like down like, 15 foot deep in the water, and like someone comes up with a mouthpiece giving you air.
Sure.
And then you go, I'm good. They take it away, and then they've got to get out of the scene, especially when you're on your wide shot, and then you're singing, and the only way that you won't die is that person comes back with the air again.
Right.
Like it's super scary, and they're like, don't swim. If you have to swim up, it's better you get the air because you won't make it if you swim up. But if you do have to swim up, make sure you empty your lungs out, because if not, your chest will explode when you get to the thing. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God. You're just like, I'm just trying to shoot a music video here. Can I not die? Can we just?
Yeah.
That's right, dude.
Like, it was way more intense, but it was sick, and I've been okay. Like my dad was a diver and stuff like that, so I've always been I've always been comfortable in the water. So it was fine, but it was a little like, you just don't think of that shit when you're just being all arty and like, I want to be underwater, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, the video turned out amazing, dude, and the song is breathtaking. We love playing it on the radio station. So I brought a rock star, another friend that probably you'll know. I did a Zoom call with him just a couple of days ago, and I had him come up with a quick, simple question to ask you. So I'm going to play this for you, and hopefully this works out. I think you'll know this guy, Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach.
Oh, sick.
All right, so Ali, my question for you is, what is your favorite up-and-coming artist that nobody but you knows about?
That's a good question. Let me look.
Are you going to cruise through your Spotify?
Yeah, I'm such a I'm not like good with names. I just hear
Sure.
songs and I'm like, that's sick. But, like, I'm really into all this like hyper pop. I don't know if you've heard of like the hyper pop scene. It's kind of
No.
like, it's kind of like kids, man, like young kids, real young kids, and it's kind of like a blend of like emo and post-hardcore and pop music, but all like turned up to 11. It's like super crazy. It's just, everything's just like super, like the most intense it could be. Super, like a lot of pent up aggression, a lot of like, it really reminds me of like when I was growing up. You know, the scene of like emo scene, like kids, you know, in the bedrooms making music, or you know,
Sure.
in the garages making like, you know, rock bands and stuff like that, and having that kind of like back then I was so into it. I knew all these bands that you know, not that weren't that well known. A lot of American post-hardcore bands.
Sure.
I just lived with it. It just super reminds me of that scene, but obviously it's a lot more poppy and crazy, but it's just got that same kind of like cool underground bedroom energy. One guy that I feel like could be really like on the tip is Eric Doa. His stuff's so like it's just like super in your face, super intense. Just like you can tell he's got something. Like a lot of it is like, it's all super sick, but a lot of it's like super tuned, affected vocals. So you never really know if like the person's you can even sing or
Sure.
how it'll go. This Eric Doa kid, he's definitely got something special. So I could imagine.
Awesome, dude.
I feel like that.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm down with looking that up too. Looking for something hardcore, something different. You know, that's why. I mean, again, that's why I've been playing the hell out of this album, because I freaking love it, man. You guys do have a different sound going on. Again, if you want to listen to something that's just heavy, you can find that on this record. If you want to hear something that's got a little bit more of a, you know, a pop feel or that EDM stuff, you guys are going that route, and it's so cool. It's a breath of fresh air, man.
Yeah.
So keep it going. Hi, back there.
Yeah, I think with these records, one thing that we're, you know, is blending that nostalgia, you know, with modern, you know, modern day. So it's like, there's obviously like homages to our favorite bands on that record and stuff, and there's a feeling of like a lot of nostalgia. But I do feel like we've merged it with stuff that's to make it feel fresh and modern, and that's kind of the, you know, I think at the time when we were writing it, everyone was looking for some kind of nostalgia, because no one wanted to be in the present, and no one wanted to look to the future because everything was so bleak with the pandemic. So everyone got nostalgic. Everyone watching old TV shows, old movies, you know, like wanting to like wear their old favorite brands and stuff. So like that was what we did with that record. It's like, all right, let's take it super nostalgic, you know, remind people of like why they loved rock music and stuff like that. And it's like, so that's what we wanted to do with like the next records. It's like, maybe the next one's going to be really emo feeling, and it's going to have that nostalgic, what made emo so great, but
Sure.
there's something to counteract that to make it feel like it's, you know, of today.
Dude, I can't wait for the future, man, of your band. I can't wait to see you guys live again, dude. That's what we need, man. You guys are insane live, insane. So, dude, thank you so much for your time today. I know you got to run. I know you got a tight schedule and stuff, dude. And next time y'all are at a festival or you guys are in Minneapolis, let's catch up, man. Let's have a pint. Let's chat, man, and chop it up. I'd love to really catch up with you in person, man. So thanks again for your time, Ollie. And
Nice one, bro.
all right, brother. Take care.
Appreciate